This presentation is about using Turnitin from within StudyNet and academic integrity for your dissertation. The new policy for Turnitin within StudyNet is so that students can use it for formative feedback and their work will not be saved to the database in Turnitin. Also to note, students must realise that all dissertations are submitted to Turnitin and have been submitted for a considerable number of years, so that if they take a dissertation that's been written by somebody else, it will be picked up. Your dissertation module leader will allow you to submit your literature review to Turnitin. You'll be referring to many sources of information within your literature review, and it's important that you don't accidentally plagiarise, and it will help you sort out any problems before it's too late. You'll be given 2 attempts at submitting your work to Turnitin. The first one you can submit immediately, and it will take up to an hour for the originality report to be produced. You will not be able to submit again you will be able to submit, but there will be a 24-hour delay between your submission and the report being produced for the second one. Students must not go directly to Turnitin, as this will cause a conflict between submissions on Turnitin and within StudyNet. There is a problem in StudyNet using Turnitin at the moment, and this is because some students have used Turnitin outside StudyNet, and this is no longer possible. If you have done this, what you need to do is to go onto Turnitin, change the email address associated with the Turnitin account, and then go back into StudyNet and use the original email address. Let's have a look at some screen clips for Turnitin from within StudyNet. When you go to your assignment page, you will see Submit Draft to Turnitin. See the red arrow pointing to Submit Draft to Turnitin. On clicking this option, you will then be asked to submit your file to Turnitin, and you'll be presented with this upload screen. Your work will be submitted to the Turnitin database and alert you to any areas that need rewriting or referencing through the similarity index. The report you get back will not be accessible to anyone other than you, nor will the similarity index. This report is to help you in your learning and cannot be used by your tutor as part of their assessment of your final submission. You will also note that you will have to tick the box, I certify that this piece of work is my own. However, as your work is not saved to the Turnitin database, you need not worry that this work will be compared to your final piece of work submitted to your module tutor, and there will be no matches between the two. Remember to return to your assignment page to view your report after 1 hour. You will see your submission listed, but not yet with a link to open the originality report. When you see Not Yet Scored, this means the report has not been opened by you. After you open a report for the first time, the similarity index will be pulled into StudyNet and listed on your assignments page. In busy periods, such as just before Christmas or just before Easter, when many pieces of work are submitted to Turnitin, it may take longer than 1 hour to generate a report, so please be patient. If you need help interpreting the originality report, you can go to Turnitin itself by going www.submit.ac.uk and look at their training videos, or you can click on the link. Also here shows the output of a piece of work sent to Turnitin. It's showing it was submitted on the 20th of the 8th, the similarity index was 99%, and the file name was Assignment Test Plan version 3. Here shows a good originality report from a student. It's showing many of the matches are less than 1%, with a total of 5%. If you click on one of these items, it will take you to the text that's related to that particular item, and it will highlight that text, showing you exactly what was put there. If the text is in quotes with an in-text citation, that's fine. However, if it's not, it might mean that you have some words that need changing I'll paraphrasing into your own words. For the dissertation, 1% of 9,000 is 90 words, so I would expect all of your individual matches must be less than 1%, because 90 words continuously is far too many in a dissertation. With a much shorter piece of work, say 1,000 words, 1% is only 10 words, and that would be acceptable. Don't worry if there's a reference to another university. This is usually a reference that has been used by a student at both universities, say here, and yourself. It doesn't mean to say you've plagiarised each other. When lecturers look at your work in Turnitin, they can exclude references, bibliography, and matches of less than 5 words. What they will do is look at your references to check that there is in-text citation, and then they will probably click the exclude button. When you submit your work, please do not submit your reference section as well, so the references that you've used within that particular chapter. Otherwise, this will add significantly to the overall similarity score within your originality report. This is an old-style Turnitin originality report. However, it has the same meaning. We can see from here that this is not such a good piece of work because A, the overall similarity is 90%, then we've got a 17% match, a 16% match, a 16% match off another internet site, and we also have 10% matching with a student looking like it's from the same piece of coursework because it's the same module code, and also the date is the same. Now, the matches together come to over 50%, so over 50% of the work is word for word from other sources of information. That in itself is a worry because it's far too high. And then lastly, is this suggesting that there's been collusion between two students, or is the 10% match from another student the fact that this student has actually plagiarised their work? Be very careful when you're in the LRC. There are students who will take your USB if you go to the toilet, or come and see what you're working on and steal your work. So make sure you don't leave anything open and you take your USB with you wherever you go. Here is another originality report, which is also very worrying. The overall score is 58%, with lots of 1% matches, but 54% is a match against another student from the university. This work has been submitted this year, and it matches against a piece of work that was submitted in November 2007. As I said before, we save all our dissertations and projects and put them onto an area which we can access at a later time. So if a student does copy a dissertational project from another student, it will be picked up. Again, this is an old-style Turnitin originality report. This is showing that it has a similarity index of 20%, 2% from many sources and 1% from other sources. Is this similarity index of 20% acceptable? Well, it really depends on how long your piece of work is. As I said before, 2% of 9,000 words is 180 words. That's not acceptable. If the article was, however, only 1,000 words, 2% of 1,000 words might be an acceptable quote. My advice to you is to aim for matches of less than 1%. Make sure you've put speech marks around any quotations, and make sure you include the in-text citation. Also, don't make your quotations too long, and remember to paraphrase anything else. There is also help available on StudyNet. I put in the words Student Turnitin, and I came up with this page here, which tells you about Turnitin and how it can be used to help you avoid plagiarism. You could also use the link here to get to this page on StudyNet. You can get further help from Turnitin itself. If you go to StudyNet and you type in Turnitin Online Text Matching Software, you'll come up with this screen. If you then click on View an Originality Report or Turnitin UK Student Training, it will take you to the Turnitin website at www.studnet.ac.uk.